Hi guys, Angie Bell with my fairy treasures. I'm back. Okay, so we left off with doing all of the collage bits, all the layers, which I love. Okay, and remember there's a giveaway, and I added some things to the giveaway, you guys. And at the end of this video, I will show you guys what I added to what I added. It'll either be in this one or the last one because I'm not sure how long this is going to take. So we're going to finish this today. This is probably going to be divided up into 2 more videos. So maybe on the 3rd video, I'll make sure by the 3rd video I've shown you guys anything I've added to the giveaway. But for the giveaway, just make sure, because if you don't know what's in the giveaway, go to the 1st video. But make sure you get more chances to win the giveaway if you comment on each video. Like, I think there's gonna be 3 to 4 parts of this video, so you get your name basically put in the basket 4 different times. So okay, let's start this. Okay, we need to do some gessoing. Okay, very light gesso, because you guys know I really like to show the layers. So I like to dip my brush in water first. I need to dip it in water anyway, loosen this thing up. Okay, but dip it in water, dip it straight in the gesso, and then go over this. But I find if I dip it in the water first, then dip it in the gesso, I get a lighter coverage. I just want a light coverage. It also gives some tooth for the acrylic paint that I'm about to put on here, and kind of pushes the background to the background a little bit, but not too much. Okay, that's all we wanted to do. All right. So we got some new things we're going to do to make marks. Instead of using stencils, we're going to use mark makers. Super excited about that. I think my husband's here. Hey honey, I'm making a video. Are you back from the doctor? Dang, that was quick. Alright, I just started making my video. Okay. So, we need to blow dry. And dry this piece. Here we go. Okay, so that's dry. So next what we're going to do, let me put a magazine piece over this page here so we don't get things messed up over here. Okay, because I want to put this here, I think. what we're going to do is we're going to use dilutions paints. So this is what dilutions paints look like. I'm going to use the magenta, the orange, and the yellow. Okay. And those colors all go together really nicely. Okay, let me get out, what am I using? Am I using a baby wipe? Yeah, I'm using baby wipes. There's so many choices of things to use. But we're going to use baby wipes. And the reason I use baby wipes, I've said it a million times, but some people are new to my channel. The reason I use baby wipes is because when you use a baby wipe with some acrylic paint, it makes it so that it's translucent, so you can see through the paint. So we're going to take the baby wipe. Ooh. Just that is even like probably way too much. This paint is so potent. That's why I love Diane Reevely's paints. You guys, right now, they have her paints, I'm going to put some down here too. They have her paints for like $1.50. Hobby Lobby had some. If you can't catch that sale, Tuesday morning I think has them for like $2. So just try to check those out and keep an eye out so you can get her paints at a really good price. Her paints are kind of, all her stuff is very expensive. I think these are $5 a piece. I mean, which isn't insanely expensive, but you know, if you want to collect all the colors, it would cost you quite a bit of money, you know, at $5 a piece. So it's nice to catch them when they're, it's nice to catch them when they're $1, $1.50, $2 a piece, for sure. And there's so much color on these that you could just keep using them. You don't have to, usually you don't have to redip. Okay. And you just keep, you know, doing it until you like it. And I think I want to put a little more magenta right here. Let me see that. Right up into here a little bit. That looks a little potent, so let's find an area. Let's get another baby wipe. There we go. I want to make this a little more see-through-y, not too. See how you can still see through this? That's exactly what you want. This is still to be able to see through it. Okay. Love. I like the balance. So I'm going to take my, and if you wanted to use these, you could start a whole nother page. If you have another art journal you're working on and you wanted to just a quick, just to do another background, just to get another start, another background, you could use these and start a whole nother page, okay? There's still enough paint on there for that. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to, let's dry this really quickly. Okay. So we got that dry. So now at this point on this other page that I did, I used stencils. But instead of stencils for making marks, we're going to use mark makers is what I like to call them. So let's take some magenta, the magenta paint. I need to add a little. Whenever you put your paints like this away, spray a little bit in the lid, and that will replace the moisture from when you are opening up these paints, because they can dry out. So remember that. Okay, so we're going to take different mark makers. I'm going to divide this in half. I don't need all of this as one. This right here is a shelf liner that I got at Dollar Tree. This right here. This is also a shelf liner. So they have different shelf liners at Dollar Tree. One that has closer holes, and it comes on a roll, and then that. Okay, these are both really good mark makers. So on this one, we're going to work out of the lid a little bit. There we go. And let's just make some marks. Oh, this makes cool marks. Just do that all over the place. And the reason I wanted to do this is because I always talk about mark makers and then I use a stencil. So, because I have so many stencils I can use. So, but I want to show how you can do all this and not have a darn stencil in your stash. Not even have a stamp. Just household items that you have around your house. You're like, ooh, that could make a cool mark, right? Okay. Now we'll go to this one right here. Yeah, I cut this in half too. I don't need this big. This is another shelf liner, right? Okay. So we're just going to scrunch that up a little bit like that, and we'll use a piece of it. Let's dip into the orange. And the lid has a lot on it, so I'll dip it off onto this plate. Okay, so let's make some marks now with the orange. And what I like to do, and I learned this from Diane Reevely, who's the one who is the artist who makes these products. She always says, go whatever colors that paint you used in the background, when you make marks, use those same colors. And so just stay in that same color family or the colors you used, and it all goes together. Like, don't go to like blue now, because you can, if you wanted like a cool little splash of accent color, cool. But for the most part, stick with the same colors with all your mark making that you used for the background color, and it just all goes together really well. Okay. But like I said, it'd be kind of cool to throw to stencil in like some Asian writing in dark blue. Especially black's gonna look good. So, a pop of an accent, that could be cool too though. These are just guidelines, they're not rules. There's never any rules, just guidelines. Okay, so now this right here is, I think I got this at, Dollar Tree, and they had a thing full of these little foam pieces, and I'm not sure what the heck she'd used them for, but they all had different textures. I'm like, ooh, that's cool. So I picked that up. Look at that. Isn't that cool, you guys? Love this. This is making some cool marks. Oh, love it. And then I bought, this is, at Dollar Tree, this is to put your soaps on. It's like a little, you put this on top of the soap dish so that you hold the soap up and it stays out of the water. Okay? But it didn't work for what I needed it for in my soap dish, but I thought, ooh, that'd be a good mark maker. So, let's make some marks. I'll go to the orange. So I'm just going into the lid here a little bit. Oh, cool. This just makes some nice little dots. Very cool. Very, 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 very cool. Love this. That's cool. Okay, so that's enough mark making. Did I use everything? Oh, one other thing I didn't use, and I want to use it. This bubble wrap. Okay. Bubble wrap. This always makes a really cool a really cool mark. And let's dip this, we'll dip this into some magenta. Okay, take some of that off of there. Okay, oh, I took too much off. All right, so let's go for this. Oh, this is cool. Okay, so there's some mark making. So look at all these mark making tools. We got bubble wrap, which this is one a lot of people know about. That really cool shelf liner there. This other kind of shelf liner. And then from the kids department, this little foam pieces. Okay, so we're going to set these aside. And let's put this away. And remember to spray the lid. Spray the lid a couple times, and that'll add the moisture back into your paint. That evaporates when you open up your lid. I even spray, because for some reason I think I didn't spray it the last couple of times, or the last time, and my paint was getting a little dry in the magenta, which is my favorite color, so I sprayed it also inside the paint. So if that happens to you and it starts looking a little dry for some reason, just spray a little bit into the paint also. Her paints are so potent, you don't ever have to worry about diluting the paint, because her paint is very, very concentrated. Okay, so let's dry this really quickly. Oh, I had another mark maker, a Q-tip. This would have been cute to dip and go like this. But just to let you know, that's another cute one. I forgot about that. Okay guys, sorry about this. It's taking longer than I thought. Usually acrylic paint dries really fast, but I'm finding quite a few wet spots on here, which I'm kind of surprised about. Okay, alright, that's good. Sorry about that, you guys. Anytime I have to use the blow dryer and it's for a little while, which usually it's not for that long, just fast forward. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use some gesso. And we're going to use some gesso with a baby wipe. Now, at this point, this could be really cool, too, to have a really bright background, which then my next thing, I'm going to leave the bright background. I'm not going to take it back with gesso, but on this one I am. But this could look totally cool without putting this gesso over it. And just taking like some cool black stencils and doing some big black stencils over this, and then doing your focal point. But at any rate, we're not going to do that. We are going to, what the heck? Just a second, you guys. I just activated some paint on my desk by accident with that baby wipe. So just a second. Okay. We'll work it out on my lid here. Okay, so lightly we're going to go over everything with this gesso. And we're going to knock everything back just a little bit. Which I think looks totally cool. Okay. Cool. Very good. And if you want to do it and just knock it back like just a little bit like I did, use a baby wipe. That'll leave so you can still see color underneath. Okay. So sorry, but we got to use the blow dryer again. If you don't want to hear it, fast forward. Just a second. I think I need some more gessoing in certain areas. In certain areas, I'm going to knock it back a little bit more than others. Okay. I just felt like it needed it to be knocked back a little bit more. Okay. So we got that. In about 5 minutes, this video is gonna, I just keep going, but my video stops and starts a new one. So in about 5 minutes it will. Like I said, make sure you leave a comment in this video. Leave a comment in the next one, because the more comments you leave, the more chances you have to win in the giveaway. And if you don't know what's in the giveaway, like I said, go back to the first video. We're going to do some script stamping. Go back to the first video and you'll see what we're giving away. Some cool mixed media stuff. And in the last video, I will show it again, what I'm giving away and the additional stuff that I added. I love, you guys know this is like my MO. I love to add script and I love to add fairy dust to all of my work. Perfect. All right. Get a piece of paper here where I can just make sure that I don't have any more. Clean off my stamp on this piece of paper. Yep, perfect. Okay, so we did our script stamping. Okay. Did the white, did the script. Oh, okay, next we're going to do some stenciling with black paint. So let me... Let's make sure you guys are seeing this. Okay, let me grab some stencils behind me. Those are all the stencils that I've pulled that we're going to be using. Let me get some black paint out. You guys, I like to buy my black paint and my white because I use both so much. I like to buy them in the thing about this size at Walmart. This is $3, and just, you know, you use in black and white all the time. I say buy it in bulk like that. I don't know if that's buying it in bulk, but you know, it's larger. Okay. All right, so we are going to put some cool stuff on here. We're going to do some numbers, just how we did over here. We're going to do some numbers here with this stencil. Okay. Let me grab some makeup wedge. So I got my black acrylic paint, a makeup wedge, and let's go. Okay, very cool. So there's that. Then I drop this on the ground. Let's go to another stencil, add something else cool on here. I'm going to add the word Paris up here, along with this, I think that's a fleur-de-lis. Now some of this in black, some of this stamping may be covered up, may not be covered up. And it doesn't even matter. Because usually what happens is some cool stuff peekaboos through here and there. Very cool. And see how that's not perfect? Who cares? I think the imperfections really add to the whole thing. And then I'm going to put this estimated bin and then this number at the bottom. This is an Andy Skinner stencil. I'll show it to you closer up. I love this stencil. I have 2 of his stencils, maybe 3, and I need to order more of his. I just love his stencils. They're the bomb. Look how cool that stencil is. Isn't that cool? Love it. Okay. I want to use this Asian stencil. Love this stencil. I've had it forever. It's super old, you guys. I picked it for maybe 50 cents at, I think, Joann's a long time ago. This is some Asian writing, and this stands for energy, peace, love, happiness. So let's put the sign here, the Asian writing for happiness, up in the corner. A little bit more black paint. Awesome. Love it. And we'll do love right here. Let's do the love right there. Awesome. Okay, now I have another Andy Skinner stencil that I love. Let me grab it here. Isn't this fabulous too? Love it. Make sure you guys are all still there. Yes. Love this stencil. It's fabulous. I want to use this little part right here. It has number 15 on it. Also, I'm kind of feeling I think some small numbers right here. Let me do that. And when you do stuff like this, you just make a decision. Just whatever you feel. But for sure, go with what you feel. If you're like, oh, I want a little of this, I want a little of that, do it. Trust yourself. Working like this, it always comes out. It really does. I made marks with mark makers. It'll work out. It'll work out. Now, the reason I'm not putting a whole lot in the center here is because I know I'm going to be putting